is question 6 of my media evaluation, which is, what have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? So my Photoshop and InDesign skills at the beginning of the course were, in regards to Photoshop, fairly decent because I did GCSE Media Studies. So I knew how to do kind of basic tasks, including using the Magic Wand tool, the Quick Select tool, and how to change the colour of an object. Whereas my InDesign skills were lacking because I'd never used InDesign or another desktop publishing software before, so I didn't really know what I was doing. My Photoshop skills had increased a fair amount by the time I completed my preliminary exercise, but at the same time not very much because I kind of already knew enough to kind of apply it to the preliminary exercise. But by the end of the preliminary exercise, I learned how to increase the brightness of an image without making it look overexposed. By the end of the preliminary exercise, my InDesign skills had significantly increased, because I learned how to create an InDesign document and how to change the margins and the number of columns. I also learned how to add guides to an InDesign document and also how to add text and place images, as well as how to change the size of spaces between the letters and lines of text. And at the end of the preliminary exercise, I also learned how to export an InDesign document to a PDF file. By the time I finished my main task in Photoshop, again, they had slightly increased because I learned how to kind of warp objects by holding down Control when trying to change the size of it instead of holding down Shift to keep all of the proportions the same. In InDesign, I learned how to add a drop shadow to objects from just kind of experimenting with different functions in the program. And I also learned how to add drop capitals to bodies of text. There's another thing that I also learned during the main task, and it was how to kind of make bodies of text wrap around an object. So in my article I had little pull quotes that I kind of wrapped the text around to make it look more like an article, say from Kerrang. Obviously, kind of both programs come with their own advantages and disadvantages, and I kind of found that InDesign had, in my opinion, had more advantages than Photoshop. However, I would rather work with Photoshop. So one of the advantages of Photoshop is that you can actually edit images within Photoshop and you don't need to transfer an image over from another program. However, there are quite a few disadvantages to Photoshop. So you can only use Ctrl and Z to undo stuff once. So you need to remember the shortcut for the back step as well as for undo. So you need to remember the Control, Alt and Z. It's also easy to lose track of layers or forget to start working on a new layer if you need to. However, I found that in my own opinion there are more advantages to InDesign. So one of them that I thought was pretty good was that everything's in its own layer, so you can kind of move things around without having to select a different layer. And it also adds a different layer for every object, so you don't have to remember to kind of add another layer if you want to do something different. The Control and Z shortcut also works more than once in a row, which makes life a lot easier. You can also change the colour of multiple objects that are the same colour by changing the colour swatch that you had used on them to make them that colour. As the disadvantages to InDesign is that you can't edit images in InDesign, so you have to kind of transfer an image over from Photoshop into InDesign if you want to edit an image that you want to use in an InDesign document. And also trying to move things that are close together is awkward because kind of the area around an object that is over another object can make the object on top move when you maybe want to move the object that's below. Also, you have to add another box if you want to add text to something, which you don't have to do in Photoshop.